Hi guys, welcome back to Through the Darkest of Times. We're here with part number 5 and the start of chapter 2. Please don't forget that if you do enjoy this series, to hit that like button and subscribe for more of this gaming content and many other games as well. If you do want this game, I do have an affiliate link down below in the description. It doesn't cost you any extra to do it that way, it just helps me out a little bit. So let's go and jump into chapter 2. Of course, there was bloodshed last time out. We went into hiding and now we have returned. An airship shaped like a giant cigar hovers over Tempelhof Airport. Hindenburg, the name of the former German president, is painted on the front of the hull. Hurry up, says Falklands, leading the way to the entry barriers. Is this what you wanted to show me? An airship? He looks at his watch. In less than an hour, you'll be flying in this airship, he laughs. A band plays military marches, swastika flags flutter in the wind. The crowd starts cheering when the stairs of the Hindenburg are lowered. Seek hail. I attempt to join the hearing. I mumble something along the lines of meek mail, so people around me don't get suspicious. One of the guards keeping the crowd from getting too close to the airship stops us. Halt. Only for invited guests. Oh, we are, says Falk, and takes out a letter. The guard looks at the letter, hands it back, and pulls back the rope. Heil Hitler, Mr. Lenz, and Heil Hitler, Herr Schmidt, says Falk, and smiles. Herr Schmidt is here because my wife couldn't make it. I hope that's alright. Of course, Mr. Lenz. Have a nice flight. My name is Schmidt now, I whisper. Falk laughs. Inside the restaurant looks very luxurious, filled with red cushioned chairs and tables covered in white linens. There's even a little promenade with windows granting a look outside. The name is Lenz, says Falk to the waiter, who nods and leads us to our table. Tell me what's going on now. I'm done with your games. What's your plan, Falk? You'll enjoy it. It's amazing, says Falk and laughs. The crew of the Hindenburg yells commands, and I feel soft pressure in my stomach as the airship begins to rise. I catch a view out one of the windows and see people on the ground getting smaller and smaller. This is amazing, but also pretty terrifying, I have to admit. Told you so, says Falk, grinning. He orders 2 drinks. When he arrives, he raises his glass and says, To you, Horst Wall, and your brave group of heroes. Shh! Don't say those things in public. Calm down. This is the regime's home turf. No one would expect, well, us, in a place like this, which makes it the perfect place to discuss restarting the group. I lean my head towards his and lower my voice. Why now? We've been underground for over a year because of the Gestapo. Most of our former supporters are either scared, dead, or have left the country. Why do you think it's a good idea to revive the group now? This is all true, Horst, says Falk. Yet you must, for one inescapable reason. This is our last chance to stop a war. War? But the Olympics are coming to Berlin. Isn't Hitler busy showing the world what a perfect leader he is? What makes you think he'll start a war, I ask. This is a very good question, says Falk, and I will answer it, but first you must excuse me for a moment. I just saw someone I need to talk to. Why don't you take a view around the ship? The view from the promenade windows is marvellous, and even have a lounge. Perfect place to meet interesting people. Why did you bring me here if you're just going to leave me alone? I wonder what to do. Go to the windows and look out. I move closer to one of the promenade windows and look out. Far beneath us I see the city of Berlin. We're so far away that I can't recognise people on the street anymore. Even cars are hard to see. Isn't it wonderful? Says an elderly woman next to me. You mean the way the city looks from up here? Do you mean the wonder of flight, or the fact that the city looks so small from here? I ask. Oh, she says. Isn't this a wonderful view to see the world? I think it reflects how everything works down there. Here we are, masters and mistresses, flying above the world, and everyone else down there is so small, so insignificant, that you can't even see them. We are their lords and masters, but they don't know it. She breaks into high-pitched laughter and reaches her gloved hand. My apologies, I haven't introduced myself. I'm Countess von Falkenstein. Take a hand and introduce yourself as Herr Schmidt. Schmidt? Well, if you say so, Herr Schmidt, says and arches an eyebrow. May I ask, how come you find yourself on this fantastic vehicle? My friend works for the government. How nice of him, she says, but her tone seems to indicate she doesn't mean it. Hitler and his party are obviously often authoritarian in a way that disgusts me. But they know how to impress, you have to give them that. She points to a huge crowd that's assembled below the airship. Shouldn't you be careful with these kind of statements? No one dares to try anything. My family have been ruining this land for centuries. We survived the French, the Great War, the Revolution and the Republic. We will survive this too. Besides, I support the Führer. I think he's a masterful leader. Where does your family come from? We used to have properties all over the Reich, but today only a fraction of it is left. Some factories, few estates, and a ridiculously humble villa in Wilmersdorf. I would invite you, but its simplicity would embarrass me. I understand. It is terrible, she says. If we don't have at least a few lucrative contracts with the SS, we would have starved to death long ago. Is that why you agree with Hitler? Hitler promised to make Germany great again, and that's exactly what he's doing. He got us out of the shameful Treaty of Versailles. He got the Saar Basin back from the French. He'll bring us back the Polish corridor. But this might lead to war, don't you think? Now it is you who's risking his life, don't you think? But no, I don't think Hitler's actions will lead to war, she says. The people around him are sometimes questionable, but other nations looked at us in awe. He made them respect us again. Do you really think so? The Jews, the communists, the Democrats, the unions, they've destroyed us. They all kept us from reaching our natural greatness. But look at us now. We shine. We rise. During the Olympic Games, the world will come to us, and the world will see through. The great Germany. Let's go and take a look at the lounge, shall we? The lounge is behind two heavy gates, the second of which is guarded by a member of the Hindenburg crew. Can I offer you something to read? He asks as I'm about to enter. Yes, please. Hands me a news magazine. Bring it back when you leave, please. The lounge has no windows and is illuminated by the indirect artificial light. Comfortable leather armchairs are arranged around small tables. There is only one other guest when I enter. He smiles, offers me a chair next to him. Thank you, you are too kind, I say, and take a seat. What brings you on this miracle of modern technology, he says with a strong American accent. A friend of mine invited me here. Really? He says and raises an eyebrow. Look at you, I guess. Why are you here? Me? I'm a journalist, writing for the New Observer, an American magazine. I am from the United States, as you may have guessed from my accent. Let me introduce myself. I am Tom Fox, American journalist and danger seeker. If I wasn't, I wouldn't be sitting inside a giant sack of hydrogen, he smiles. What do you think of the new Germany? I love German culture, German food, the German language, honestly. I had serious doubts about your government and the way they handle things before I came here. What should I say? I'm still a liberal. I still think that politically I wouldn't want for the United States what you have here, he says. But after spending 3 months in the Reich, I must say, your country is up to something. And I will make sure that readers in the States get the real picture. What is the real picture? I ask. How is it different from the picture they have right now? There are lots of rumours about Germany, says Fox. See, we like our freedom and the right to do as we like, but Hitler and his party seem to interfere in every detail of people's lives. And Americans don't like that? No, we don't. Many American newspapers paint a picture of Germany as a country where people are arrested and killed by their government all the time. Many of us, me included, thought Germany was doomed when Hitler took over. But now you think differently. Yes, I must admit that I'm impressed. Germany looks great. Berlin looks great, and the rumours about how the Jews have been mistreated seem to be exaggerated. In my 3 months here, I haven't seen anything problematic. So your story will be everything fine in Germany? Pretty much, yes. While I'm sure that I don't want someone like Hitler for the US, I think that maybe, for you Germans, Hitler is what you needed. I cough. Are you alright? Asks Fox. There are things you and your readers should know. Oh, yes? This sounds interesting. I'm always interested in finding new sources, and be assured you can tell me anything. Informants always stay anonymous. Not here. Do you have a card? Of course. This is the address of my Berlin office. If I'm not there, just talk to my secretary. He hands me a business card. I need to get back to the restaurant. It was a pleasure to meet you, Herr Schmidt, he says, and gets up and leaves. We'll go back to the promenade and we'll wait for Falk to come back, of course. He's standing at the other end of the horizon, gazing into the horizon. Other end of the promenade, gazing into the horizon. Luftwaffe officer is nowhere to be seen. We're going to approach him. Do you have time to answer my questions now? Of course. I'm sorry I left you alone. There was someone who might become very useful to us, and I will introduce you eventually. What is it you wanted to know again? What makes you think Hitler will start a war? Hitler wants a war, just not right now. He knows that Wehrmacht isn't ready yet. He needs more time. He just needs the world to think that his Reich is just like any other order country. There is no German threat. So he must let the world know what his plans really are. That's correct, says Falk. Let's face it. Too late to fight Nazism from the inside. Even killing Hitler won't do it. Most Germans are happily following the regime. We need help from the outside, but if the world believes Hitler is harmless, the required help won't come. How should we convince the world? What makes you think anyone would listen to us, I ask? Nothing, says Falk, but we have to hope that they do. Otherwise, this world will see a war and destruction far worse than anything it's ever experienced. End of scene. Achievement there for unlocking the Heidenberg, playing through that. Great excitement. How will elections turn out? The elections are taking place and everyone is eager to see how much the people approve their Führer. Rhineland prepares for annexation. They get ready to join the Reich. All they need to do is sign a ballot in favour of annexation in today's election. And nothing matters more than coal. 95% of the Reich's and German coal plants. Bizarre thing to see Nazis holding each other back, says Paul Weinrab during tonight's meeting. I saw something really weird last night. The club. What do you mean, Nazis holding each other back? So, I went out for drinks last night. As I'm waiting in line to get in, there's a couple in front of me. He's black, she's white. The bouncer is furious and tells them to piss off. That is ugly, but not unusual, is it? Wait for it, says Paul and continues. A policeman shows up, gets straight to the bouncer. He whispers something we can't hear. Wait, did the policeman actually make him accept the couple? That's exactly what I'm saying, says Paul. The bouncer grudgingly motioned for them to enter the club, and that was that. I think I know why that happened. He intervened because there's a lot of visitors and tourists there. They have to maintain their image for now, I say. End of scene. So let's go and plan some missions and see what we have here. We need to build up some supporters again. We could meet friends, businessmen, unionists, buy paint, paper, donations, priest, friend. We'll meet an academic. I will go and do that one. Sebastian can go and meet a friend. Meet a priest. Roman is helpful with that. Former unionist, Paul, good for that one. And businessman, maybe Vera, not great, but she will do. We're going to try and build up some supporters in this part of the episode. 10 people still supporting us. They donated 3 marks overall. Paul met with a unionist. Curious to weigh up the way regime is limited workers' rights. One of his supporters. We've met that contact and 1 supporter there. Vera meets with a businessman. Upset about the way things go under Hitler's regime. Offers to help us, introduces some of his associates. 1 supporter. Roman meets with a priest. There is a witness. We will enforce that. It's just a general witness. The witness leaves. Priest tells us members of the community might be willing to help. That is +1 in terms of supporters. Of course, with the academic, despises the regime for its rationality and cruelty. Of course, thinks he's been seen. 1 supporter there. And myself, meeting with a friend in Spandau. +2 supporters that way, so no morale gain or loss. +6 supporters, which is crucial. 99% votes for Hitler and the annexation. Ribbentrop in London presents the British government in London with the German response to the Locarno Memorandum of 19th March contains a proposal for a comprehensive peace plan based on full equality of all participants and scholarships only for members of the Hitler Youth. Vera Herzog seems very distraught during our meeting tonight. I have to watch what I say around my daughter. I've really put us in danger. What kind of danger? Are you okay? The Gestapo came knocking at my door. I had no idea what they were doing there, or how they found me, until it turned out my daughter being repeating anti-Nazi slogans at school. Slogans she must have picked up from me. You told them? No, we'll go for so they suspect you. Yes, that's why they came to my home to investigate. I played dumb. I told them I had no idea where she'd learned them, but it was enough to avoid worse. But they've got their eyes on me now. Have to be careful. Anything we say can be used against us, even unwittingly by people we love, I say. -5 in morale there. We could gain access to campus and go along that route. We could talk to some academics, buy paper and go along that route. We'll go and talk to some workers. Vera, he can go and do that one. Gain access to campus, we need secrecy and strength. Bastian is perfect for that one. He can go alone. Collecting donations. Beautiful. That's easily done there. Talking to an academic. I will go and do that one, I do believe. Buy paper. Roman is going to have to do that. He's the only one that's left. Send him with the bicycle. It's a bit less danger. He should be fine. We'll go with that. We lost one supporter, 15 overall. 4 marks donated to us. He meets the janitor at the university. Managed to steal the master key from the janitor. We can access the campus whenever we want. +2 morale. Vera meets with co-workers for a supporter. Vera thinks she's been seen. 4 supporters gain there, +2 morale. Paul gets a lot of donations, 24 there, and +3 morale also. In Spandau, a horse meets with friends and colleagues. Many of them academics. Turns out they despise redeem because, as they call it, it's stupidity and lack of science and culture. 4 supporters gained in that one. And Roman went to buy paper, thinks he's been seen. We managed to get a stack of paper, -4 overall morale, +7 supporters though, so that's not too bad. There has been a coup in Spain. The Spanish Parliament dismisses the President of Spain. Hindenburg returns from his first trip to South America, and Jews banned from becoming interpreters. Paul is visibly shaken as he arrives at the meeting. I almost had a heart attack at the train station, he says. What happened? As the tickets counter to buy a ticket, and right there, looking me right in the eye and handing me with a friendly smile, was the man who threatened to kill me only a couple of years ago. Threatened to kill you? Back then, not today. Clearly he didn't recognise me, but back then he was a thug, and he knew I was Jewish and threatened to kill me. At the time, I had every reason to believe him. It's just another reminder that thugs never let. Now, I will tell him I'm glad he's safe. And we'll go and do one more day here. We could observe some essay activities. We could spread leaflets on campus. Access to a quarry. Paint. We'll send Vera into hiding. Access to the quarry, level 4 in secrecy and strength. So we're going to go for Sebastian to go and do that one. Spread leaflets on campus. We need 2 people for that one. Level 6, so we're not quite where we need to be for that. We could collect donations. We could meet the friend. Paul can go and meet friend. Roman can go and talk to the Christian community. And we will go and collect donations in Spandau, I believe. We'll go and see how this day goes. We lost 1 supporter, gained 7 marks that way. Bastian looking for a weak spot. There's someone suspicious. Whoever's got suspicions calmed down. Found the spot where they've managed to get in. He has been seen though. Sarah goes into hiding. She returns feeling much safer, which is a big positive. Roman meets people of the Christian community. 7 supporters. That's a big gain for us there. And Paul thinks he's been seen. He's managed to gain 1 supporter from his friend. And in terms of donations from the academics, 12 because they really treat science and culture, +1 morale, +7 in supporters. Italy occupies border Sudan. Italian troops occupy the border. Low sales of music records industry asks for help. And labour riots in Poland. You guys, says Paul Weinrab at our meeting. Did you notice Did you notice that the tabloid Der Stürmer, you can't find it anywhere? Exactly, he replies. Vera snorts. Not like we're missing out on anything. It's nothing but propaganda and racist garbage. I think that's the reason you can't find it. Now you know why it's off the shelves, I say. The Nazis are trying to distort their image for the International Press Corps here for the Olympics. I'm torn, says Paul Weinrab. I'm glad that trash has been pulled, yet it might help the Nazis look better. That's what I fear. To foreigners, it will look as if the stories they've heard about anti-Semitism in Germany were exaggerated. We need to let the world know the truth. Well, I say, it's on us to get the truth out. You're probably right, says Paul. End of scene, end of checkpoint, and that's where we're going to end this video. Thank you very much for watching this. We'll be back in a couple of days for the next one. This series will be coming out every Tuesday and Thursday, as you may have noticed so far. So please do keep an eye out on the channel for more of these videos. Until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.